Guys, I have got some news for you. And when I found it out, I was standing in a Taco Bell drive-thru sipping on a Baja Blast, and I dang near spit it out in the restaurant when I got this news. So, if you guys follow old Cleeter over there, you see that Cleetus and Cars, Bradenton, November 21st is back on. The final, what was supposed to be the last and final Cleetus and Cars will now be the second Cleetus and Cars for the year, but the first one that we'll get to actually go to. Yes, you heard me right. I am going. If you guys are part of it, you guys have been on the channel for a while, you know we built, which was the Burnout Truck, and we renamed it Skid Mark just to be funny because we didn't do any burnouts with it. This truck was built specifically for Cleetus and Cars, and thanks to COVID, all of that went out the window and we never got to do with it what we wanted. Now, if you're not familiar, this is a 2001 Silverado, pretty much completely gutted. It's a nitrous 5.3 big cam 4L80. It's just a fun, simple built truck, and it does burnouts for days. You think about doing a burnout, this truck will blow the hide off these tires, no questions asked. And we are finally going to get to use the Burnout Truck for what its intended purpose is, and I'm telling you, I could not be more excited. So there's a couple things that's got to happen to old Skid Mark here before we take him down there. I want to go over some of the things we're going to do to him to modify him back to burnout status, because as you know, we've kind of changed it to a street truck. So we could drive it on the street, but things need to go back now. We need a back pedal so we can get ready for the burnouts. Now, I want to go ahead and brag on this truck. Let me tell y'all, we gave up on Cleetus and Cars this year, and I just accepted the reality it wasn't going to happen. So we went full tilt with this truck. I mean, I take this truck out almost every weekend and run it, and I'll run a bottle of nitrous through it almost every weekend. I have for months, and it hasn't blown up. Not yet, not yet. Well, that being said, this weekend will be the last weekend I take this truck out and run it on nitrous. I'll drive it to work and down to the shop and stuff on just motor, but no more racing it. The last thing I want to do is blow up this truck before Cleetus and Cars. Break my heart. So let me get into the stuff that we've got to change here, that we've done to the Burnout Truck to kind of make it a little bit more streetable. First thing is the exhaust. So when we built it, it was open headers, which is what we wanted for the Burnout. Well, you're trying to drive it on the street, you know, it's grabs a lot of attention and it's obnoxious. So we put pipe on it and put mufflers on it. And I'm not by any means saying that it's quiet, because it's not quiet. Listen to that cam, just take a minute. I love this truck. But what we need to do is we need to take, and it's clamped on, which would be super simple. We need to take the exhaust off where the pipe runs back off the headers. It's 3-inch pipe off the collectors, and do away with the mufflers. So go back, just open header, loud exhaust, and get rid of this muffled. It's almost like a crime to get rid of that because it sounds so good. But we got to get rid of these mufflers and get this thing back to being absolutely obnoxiously loud. Now, the next thing, we had a discussion. What tires would we burn? What would we do? Would we put the stocks back on it? Would I just send the 20s and just say screw it with the AZ850s here? And you know what I've decided? We are going to go with a new wheel and tire setup next year anyway, so I might as well ruin these brand new, well, they're not brand new, but they're pretty new, Toyo AZ850s down there in Cleetus and Cars. So I'm going to do a burnout on its 20s. I'm not going to put spares back on it. So as you see is what you're going to get there. Now we'll work out something with the brakes. We'll plug off the rear brake lines again and just have front brakes. So we don't catch calipers and all the other crap on fire, because it will definitely catch on fire with that length of a burnout. Now, the next thing, under the hood, mostly we're ready to rock and roll. We're not going to run a hood at Cleetus and Cars. We're going to take the hood off. But mostly we're ready in here for it. Some things that we might do, we might double clamp our radiator hoses. We need to double check fans, make sure we're good there. One's been intermittent back and forth. Fan number 1 has had an attitude recently, and it decides it wants to work one day and the next day it doesn't. So I'm either A, gonna order a new one, or B, try to trace down the wiring issue there, because it might be a wiring issue. The other thing, and not looking forward to this, we've got to heat wrap the headers. Now you see we've got the fiberglass shields over the boots there. We're still melting plug wires, and it's a pain in the butt. So I'm not looking forward to it. We have to do an exhaust manifold gasket on the driver's side anyway, so we basically have to unbolt the header to change it. We're gonna go ahead and heat wrap the headers up at the top, so that way we don't melt these plugs, because I anticipate a long burnout. Those tires are every bit of 80% left on them, and I'm not going to burn any more off of them before Cleetus and cars. And you know, it's that kind of wide open, you know, especially if I start spraying at some point, these headers are going to get hot, so let me tell you, and it'll likely melt those wires. And the last thing I want is to end the burnout because the engine's misfiring, because I'm not firing on all 8 cylinders. That would be the last thing I want. So we're going to fix that issue, because I want this thing to last. I want to pop the tires, and you know, we might have a little surprise in store for the motor. We have a great track record of blowing 5.3s up at Cleetus and cars, in case you guys missed that video.
Oh brother, you done threw a rod.
So yeah, might happen again, you never know. Maybe that's why we're not running the hood, so everybody can see some carnage. But that's just a surprise you have to see down in Cleetus and cars. So I just want to make a video, let you guys know that I am going. It's going to happen. Hopefully a lot of you guys are going to make it. It's going to be a good time. Garrett runs a great event, and you're even going to get allowed to go into Freedom Factory. It's not at the Freedom Factory, it's still at Bradenton, but you can go to the Freedom Factory. If you have a ticket to the event and you're in the event, you can go walk through Freedom Factory and see it, according to what he said the most recent video. So obviously subject to change if anything comes up. But right now, the plan, and I mean, the hotel rooms are booked, everybody's got vacation time. I never cancel my vacation time, so it's happening. I got all the ducks are in a row. As long as it's going on, he's putting it on, we're gonna be there. We're gonna make some new shirts for the event and stuff like that, like we did last year. But I can't wait, guys. I absolutely cannot wait. You know, the whole year 2020 for all of us was a disaster. You know, my dream was crushed of what I was going to do with this truck. We were going to do great things this year with this truck, and it just didn't happen because of coronavirus, and it really sucks. But I'm glad that we're going to have one moment of glory, and we're finally going to get to use the truck for what it was built to do, and that is to do burnouts. It is the Burnout Truck. It was the Burnout Truck. It's always going to be the Burnout Truck, even though I nicknamed it Skid Mark and call it that. The truck was built to do burnouts, and that is what we were going to do November 21st. So with that being said, drop any comments you got down below. Hopefully, if any of you guys can make it out, you guys are coming down to Florida for that event. It is worth it. You don't, Skid Mark aside, screw what I got going on. What the whole show he puts on is incredible. The whole thing. It's a whole day of entertainment, and whatever the ticket price is worth it. It could be $100. It's not, but I'm just saying it would be. It's $1,000 worth of fun in one day just to go there and watch. You don't even have to be a participant. It's an awesome event. So appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to go follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. We'll have some videos of us modifying the Skid Mark here right back to Burnout Truck status here in a few weeks. I'm going to wait probably over into November before I take everything off, because I still want to drive it. It's still fun to drive. I like this truck. But that's going to be it for today's video. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care. Have a great day.